Hi, I'm Vicki Westling here with City Speaks, and this is our holiday show with Mayor Rosas, and all of his cabinet. So, Mayor, I'm going to let you take it. Welcome.
Well, it's good to be back on your show, Vicki. This is a show to introduce all of our executive branch of government here, our members, my team here, Mr. Randy Woodbury, our DPW director, Marcia Beach, our fiscal affairs officer, David Campola, our HR director, Rebecca Yanis, our director of planning and development, Ed Ramos, who happens to be our city clerk, and Vicki Westling, my executive assistant. This show is about letting the public know who we are, what we've been doing, and give you an update.
And we should also recognize our city attorney, Rich Morrisroe, who's also a key member of your team.
Our city attorney directly behind me,
So,
Richard Morrisroe.
Right. So we're here today because our residents want to know what's going on, who we are, what City Speaks does, and the Dunkirk Access Channel. Let's recognize our team, who has just been really great. They put everything together for us. We have Gabe Taylor, Lee Woodard, Dylan Murphy, and Jordan Rosas. So these guys are the ones behind the scenes, and they're the ones that make it happen. So with that, Mayor, because you have assembled this team, and of which I'm certainly proud to be a part of, and I'm sure everybody else is, what are you looking for 2019 from all of us?
Well, we want to continue. One of the things that we've changed since I came into office is we're working more as a team now. All of the department heads have been directed by me to work together anytime that we can do that. And that's been happening. The city is now progressing. You're seeing different progress in all the areas in the city. We've updated all of our city facilities, including our streets department, our city hall, our water department, wastewater, our museum, the historical museum. So we've been doing a lot of upgrades here, and some of the things that have been happening is the departments have worked together. So we're working more effectively, more efficiently, and the ultimate result is we are able to do all these upgrades without raising taxes or any type of fees. So I'm very proud of that, and I'd like for our department heads to just speak a little bit on their respective departments and how things have been happening to progress in the city.
Sure, and so one of the things that bring in the money, and some of the grants and things that we've done, come from our development director, Rebecca Yanis. So Rebecca, you've got the floor.
Yeah, so 2018 was really a year of implementation. We received some grant funding in 2017 for quite a few projects, and we started to work together on implementation of those projects, and some of them included our parks projects, Wright Park and Point Gratiot Park. Those were instrumental, big projects in the city that myself and the DPW director, Randy Woodbury, and his team worked together on. Obviously, we've got our new splash pad at Wright Park. We've got some pickleball courts and the futsal courts that we're really excited to improve on. And then at Point Gratiot Park, we have all the new pavilion roofs, the improved restroom facilities, the new bandstand. So we were really excited to get those projects done this year. And then we also had some really great festivals and events that took place this year. The first ever boat races that came to the city that Hector was instrumental about bringing to our city. So we're really excited to be able to bring that back in 2019.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
we've just received a grant for that, have we not, Mayor?
Yes, we did.
And that's in the amount of?
$225,000 that we received from New York State to help with the costs for the next 2 years of boat races. So we're so excited to bring that back. The economic impact is huge from the boat races. The amount of people that come to see these, it's televised internationally. The people that spend their money at lodging, going to the shops, restaurants, patronizing our local businesses is huge, and it's just a great thing for the residents of the city too. So we're so excited to be bringing that back. It's free entertainment. We're promoting our greatest asset, the waterfront, and that's not only going to help the current economic growth, but the future economic growth too, because other developers are going to be able to see the showcase of Dunkirk in our publicizing of the event. So
Well, and of course, and
it's
everything
huge.
that we do in that area dovetails into our DPW director's area, Randy.
Right.
And Randy, you and your team really have to do some work to make these things happen.
We do, and the word team is the important part of it. That's why I'm here. I've been with the city off and on for different reasons, and I've watched the city, lifelong resident here. And just before I talk a little bit about DPW, I'd like to mention why I also am proud to be on Mayor Rosas' team. Mayor Rosas is a great leader. He doesn't have to be the expert in everything that we all do, but he puts together a team where he expects expertise from us in those areas, water, wastewater, things like that. And then in turn, I have a team, and I'm very proud of my team. The city team for Department of Public Works is a great set of people, very dedicated to the city. What they've needed are tools being fixed. The water plant, it was in a state of disrepair. Wastewater plant, same way. Mayor Rosas was able to work with his networking of people, because the team also goes beyond here. It goes throughout the state, throughout the country. And he's able to get the funding with Rebecca and other people, and we're able to improve the water plant and give the DPW team the right tools to work with. You give them the right tools, they're going to do an excellent job because they're very well trained, very well dedicated to the city of Dunkirk. So the water plant, by improving that and finishing up the consent order that we had with the County Department of Health, we now have arguably some of the best drinking water out of the Great Lakes. And the Great Lakes represent 20% of the fresh water in the world, 95% of the fresh water in North America. It's right here. And we make that water drinkable because we filter it with granulated activated carbon, the same media that's used in the people who spend a lot of money for a Brita water filter. We do that right at our water plant. And because our water quality was so good, and because Mayor Rosas helped fix the plant, the North County Water District was very happy to take our water, and we're now pumping our water to Brockton, and the state facilities, the correctional facilities in Brockton are now drinking all Dunkirk water. The entire village of Brockton is drinking Dunkirk water. The entire west side of the North County Water District is finished. Still a few things to do to connect up in there, but then the east side we'll have additional customers there too. So it's not to use the word too much, the cliche of win-win. It definitely is a win for the city, and we feel it's also a win for the region. And the mayor and I go to the North County Water District meetings once a month. It's very much a regional program. We have leaders from the different political parties, but they put their heads together and they put their efforts together, regardless of what their background is, for the good of this region. So I just want to stress the word that you introduced me is the word team, and that team goes regionally, goes statewide, goes right down to we have the great team working access here. Just the word team resonates throughout the administration of Mayor Rosas, and I'm proud to be of that team. I could talk more about the specifics a little bit later, let somebody else talk, but I just wanted to emphasize the word team.
Well, and the part of that team, when we talk about certainly the development efforts and then the actual brick and mortar and all the things that you do to make these things happen, we have to have the people, our resources. We have to have the equipment, our fiscal affairs. So you all do that. We have the legal issues where, Rich is constantly, I'm sending him things, check for legal sufficiency, make sure this is correct. And, and our city clerk. So these things all have to come together. We talk about the team. We talk about our people. So, David, what are we doing for our people? We've got things going on as far as our health-wise. And what other things have happened in the area of human resources?
Well, one of the things the mayor charged me with when I first came on board was to, make sure that the training was up to speed. The Human Resource Department is responsible for all training concerning all aspects of work at City Hall. And we started an intensive training program last year around March, and the cycle starts back again now in January. And by the end of January, beginning part of February, all City Hall employees will be trained on the required sexual harassment, diversity, of various
We're gonna do active shooter?
active shooter, a whole bunch of different stuff that is required by law. And one of the other things is that we wanted to. I was amazed at how many people we put in the summertime, summer help, and the HR team does a great job of getting these people in, processed, and on the job as soon as possible. And we're making a lot of progress in doing that faster and faster, because when Randy says he needs people, we got to react. You know, it can't take 2 or 3 weeks. He needs them right then and there. So I'm really proud of the HR group that they've streamlined a lot of things in the hiring process, and we're able to respond as quickly as possible to manpower needs.
And we're going to continue with some management training again in 2019.
Yes, we are, in 2019,
Yeah.
yes.
And so all these things deal with money. Money, money, money. What are you doing, Marcia?
Well, as you know, the mayor's budget was just adopted, which was a great thing. We sat down, and basically it's a very detailed process. Mayor and I sit down and go through every single line to make sure there are sufficient funds to meet the needs of each department. We sit down with each and every one of these department heads, and we talk to them. We say, hey, what are your needs and wants, and also where can you possibly cut costs? And they've all been great at doing that. I know David could tell you the money he saved in medical premiums and in our liability insurance, and I could go right down the list and everyone could tell me how they've saved. But we're very proud of the budget, and I know it's coming in a little bit higher, but in our case that's a great thing because of all of these grants we've received. We've talked about the LED project and how much money that's going to actually save the city each and every year, like to the tune of $250,000 in our electric costs.
So I think the way you put it too is when revenues go up, the budget goes up, and it all balances out, right?
Exactly. We always present a balanced budget. So when you see higher budget, that means our revenue's up, just like our expenses. So that's a great thing. And of course, as Randy mentioned, the North County Water District, that's going to bring in, much
And
more
then
revenue.
we have a lot of new equipment also. We've had some new equipment. And then one of the things that certainly we've got some other good news, Mayor, that you shared last night at the last council meeting. So those things are taking place. Do you want to share any of those now?
Well, I want the public to know that in 2016, my first year in, we finished the year about $1.8 million in the black. Very proud of that, and that was really due to different policies that we put in so that we're functioning more efficiently. In 2017, again, we were over $1 million in the black. And I've been talking to Marcia. 2018, we expect to be in the black once again. And again, it's important for our public to know because lately we've been seeing our local newspaper, print statements that aren't accurate regarding our budget. So I would like the public to know that we have been in the black. We are working very hard to ensure that we're doing everything that we can with the NRG issue. We are looking at different ways to cut costs, but at the same time, we're trying to raise revenue. And at the same time this is happening, we are also taking care of our parks, our water filtration plant, our wastewater filtration plant. We're buying new equipment, more modern, efficient equipment, and all of these things are happening without us raising taxes, without us raising water rates, and without us raising our wastewater sewer rates. So this is a good thing. Good things are happening. We're seeing progress in the city, and it's something for all of us to be proud of.
And one of the things that you have done since you've been in office is that you've really tried to make sure that everybody across the board is able to work together as a team, but certainly you've brought in people who can relate to our citizens, to our residents, because Dunkirk does have a minority population. And one of the things that you have done is that you hired our first Spanish-speaking attorney, our bilingual attorney, Rich Morrisroe, who has come in so that we have somebody, as well as our city clerk, who can actually address some of the issues when we have some of our Spanish-speaking residents come in. So tell me a little bit, Rich, people don't understand what a lawyer does. And of course, lawyer is the butt of many jokes, you know. But you're not one of those. So tell us about some of the good things that's going on in your area.
I think the joke is often nobody wants a lawyer until they need one.
Right.
So and what the role that I play in the city is that I play back up to everybody else, and that I work with every department, not only the department heads, but some of the supervisors and sometimes with the employees on any potential legal issue that comes up. Sometimes it's as simple as contract review, reviewing contracts that have come in, reviewing grant applications, reviewing any kind of settlement negotiations we have with various vendors, with the unions, any type of grievance resolution. I work with HR on any potential HR issues that come up, and we also try to proactively prevent future HR issues from coming up. Same with Marcia in terms of costs, contracts, and making sure we're, meeting our legal obligations. And with Randy as well, with all the work that's been done at the wastewater treatment plant, at the water plant, there's a lot of contracts that come through for that, and I help review that and make sure everybody's doing what they need to do, making sure all the liability insurance coverages are in place to protect the city and its citizens. I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to provide a service to the city, and we try to do that as efficiently as possible. And one of the things I'd like to note is, there's been some talk in the community about us not paying attention to the fact that energy is not going to reopen as we had hoped. And I think all of what we do is about growing the city's revenue base, which is the taxes. That's how we make things happen. And at the same time, reducing and creating efficiencies, reducing costs, creating efficiencies. All the grants that Rebecca's worked so hard on are to increase the city's tax base, to make the city grow, both commercially, both residentially. Everything we do, when we're working on, I'm also part of the Vacant Property Task Force with Rebecca, with Randy. We want those properties back on the tax roll. We want them whole. We don't want them to be a fire or a police hazard when you have a vacant property. And we want the city to grow. We want more residents. And that goes with the city clerk's office, with the services he provides. That goes with Rebecca. That goes with HR. Everything we do is to do what's best for the citizens of Dunkirk and to grow the city.
Right. So certainly to pick up on what you said, we certainly want you. Not only because we like you, but because we need you. So
That's right.
So thanks for all that background work. And you mentioned the city clerk's office, and there again, that office, it never stops. The people are in and out all the time. Tell us a little bit, Edwin, about what goes on there on a regular daily basis.
Thank you, Vicki. When the mayor asked me to come on board, he charged me first to make sure that the residents of the city of Dunkirk have the highest level of service. When they come in to do various items, they can get death certificates of a loved one that has passed away for insurance reasons. They can get their own birth certificate. But regardless of what they're coming in for, I was asked to make sure that everybody that came through those doors that asked us for help was able to get the help that they need, that they deserve, and that they quite literally pay for through taxes and being residents of the city of Dunkirk. Additional to all that, we don't bring in money, but we have implemented some programs that are going to save the city significant amounts of money. Our new telephone system, which we have in the upgrades that the mayor had spoken of earlier, part of that was an upgrade in a phone system that was about to, we got warnings from DFT that said the system's going to crash, it's going to crash. So the mayor charged me with bringing in some reliable phone systems, and we were able to do that with the help of Dan Manzella, our in-house IT guy, and also with work with DFT. So we've changed out the phone systems, which now operates on the internet, which is a much more efficient system, and we're going to save the city approximately $5,000 a year based on that new phone system. That's huge. We've also upgraded 90% of the computers that are in the city hall right now are not the computers that were there when the mayor and I came into the building. Additionally, we are implementing other areas of saving, like we're trying to go paperless on a lot of our new processes, and we're also working within 2019 to digitize a lot of the archives that we have in the City Hall. Our crew is second to none, very knowledgeable and very helpful. And I've heard from some of the our constituents and also some of the funeral directors that we work with that it's a pleasure to go into my office and it's a pleasure to work with our crew. So I would like to not take all of that credit myself. I have 2 clerks that work with me on a daily basis, and it's really nice. Additional to that, I've been able to help with an initiative that the mayor started to get people licensed and trained in various areas. We've been able to get people trained in Rebecca's department, and also have them have their notary license. We've gotten people trained in Richard's department as far as getting their notary licenses, and also my department. I believe that there are more notaries in the City Hall at this point than ever. So.
Right. Well, I think that I can probably attest to that. So I think that it's really important that, you know, all the things that we do, everything has to dovetail into something else. You know, none of us is a silo, is your word. So we all do work together very well. And I think that one of the reasons that, you know, from where I sit, certainly, because I'm kind of a hybrid here, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But, you know, but I do work with everybody on a regular basis, you know, from in one degree or another. And all of that is because we have a leader who absolutely exemplifies what teamwork is all about. That I think that this cohesive group that we have is all because of him. So, Mayor Rosas, kudos to you. Good job.
Well, and a good mayor is only good because he surrounds himself with good, competent people. And I'm very proud to have this team with me. The attorney, as he said, you know, just about every time that I walk into a meeting to negotiate, which is pretty much every day, I like to have him with me. He's very good and knowledgeable in reading contracts and knowing where we could protect the city more. So that's important for me to know that we have that. Each one of these people behind me are very strong in their respective departments, and I depend on them and their expertise. So I base all of my decisions on the feedback that I get from these people. And so I'm very proud to have this team with me.
Well,
Vicki,
we're all
could I
very,
just
yes,
follow
certainly.
up on
Go
something
for it.
that our fiscal affairs officer was talking about with the budget? I think there was a misunderstanding of an increase of 5% in the budget means that we received a income of 5%. And a lot of that is going toward fixing things that Mayor Rosas inherited. There were, in the city of Dunkirk, and the Public Works sees all these things, there was something called deferred maintenance. Don't fix it. It's an artificial way to save money, because eventually you're going to have to pay a bigger buck in the long run. Mayor Rosas has stepped up to fix a lot of those things. We just added 5 fire hydrants to Seal Street with the help of Rebecca. And that Seal Street people, they deserve to have fire protection for the 50 or 60 years they've lived there. They didn't have fire protection until just last week when we finished that project that Mayor Rosas said, I want that done this year. And Rebecca got the money for it. There was no money. The money would appear in the budget, but the money didn't come from taxpayers. It came from a federal grant. Our community development block grant was, when the mayor got in office, that was close to being taken away from the federal Housing and Urban Development Department, and we saved it. We had to do $1 million worth of work in different areas. We worked with very good representatives at HUD because HUD understood that this is a hardship community, and we would be really in dire straits if we would have lost that money. And we put the money to good use. I just want to. It's all about the team and having the right team and then having the team work together. So the increase is being funded by monies that are coming in without raising taxes. So the money is coming in, and the question is, do you not use the money, or do you fix things that have been broken for decades? No, I think you fix things, because then you're going to be able to grow the city. So it was a misunderstanding. It sounds like, you know, things were inflated. It wasn't. It's an opportunity to use those extra funds to fix the city that's been broken in a lot of places, and get the city back on the right track. And I've watched all these people being very cognizant of things we could be losing. but they're not down about that. They have alternative, they're turning adversity into opportunity. Where can we find opportunity somewhere else? So it's not a blind, effort. It's very much focused, and that's another thing that the mayor brings. He brings focus, he brings a plan, and again, he brings the team. So I just wanted to add that
Well,
to
and I
Marcia.
think that you say that, and I think that's very good. One of the things that people think of when they think of building the city or repairing the city, they think of streets, they think of garbage collection, they think of these things. But it really is truly more than that. We have our parks, our recreation, our waterfront. We have the safety issue. We have the Howard Street Bridge, that those people were 10 years without a
10
bridge.
years,
They
yeah.
couldn't, they had no fire protection. The fire trucks couldn't get down there. So we have all of these different things that we go through. All of those things require additional manpower. They require training of our manpower. They require all the contract, all the legalities. So those are all things that the city of Dunkirk, the residents, have as a result of Mayor Rosas and his team and all of us working together. So
Just to add to that, Vicki, I mean, a lot of what I do is interconnected with what everybody else is working on. I mean, for example, we created the position of the HR director because we wanted to take a more holistic view of human resources. And that in turn allowed us, with council's approval, to create the position to bring somebody of David's caliber in to do some of the things he's done to upgrade our HR department.
absolutely.
At the same time, a lot of what I work on in the real estate development with Rebecca's office is, again, to grow the city. The hotel that's coming online, some of the renovations that are coming online with the building across the street there on Lake Shore, some of what we're working on with the senior center and being able to expand that and provide more services at that site. All that is sort of a dynamic interaction of all these departments. And the mayor's very good at making sure we're all on our P's and Q's to get these things done. But none of it can be done independently. We all work together. We have to.
I want to add to that, all of these things that we're doing are meant to make the city look more attractable and bring in more jobs and
That's
more
right.
business. And one big thing that we are seeing is that our current businesses are investing a lot of money in staying in our city, and jobs are growing. Yes, we talk about Phoenix is coming, but we've got to talk about our steel plants that are investing millions into their steel facilities that are going to
Well,
be
and
bringing
Fieldbrook Foods.
Fieldbrook Foods with the cold storage warehouse. We've got agricultural transport that is going to be a big transportation company that just bought an old building in the city that's going to be coming here, bringing 50 jobs. So there are jobs that are coming, and people are excited. And that's the whole point is
Right.
to bring.
Right, and going with that, we've heard some complaints about empty storefronts on Central Avenue, and that bothers all of us, from the mayor on down. We want to fill those storefronts. Unfortunately, we don't have the power to do that with the snap of a finger, but you do it by improving the infrastructure. You do it by improving the appearance of the community. You do it by having events that attract people to the community and say, oh, wait a minute, that'd be a great location for this type of business. That'd be a great location for this business. I relocated my hub of my private law firm to Dunkirk from Buffalo, and then relocated my family to Dunkirk because I have a lot of faith in the direction the city is moving in. And so I invested my own business and my own family into Dunkirk because I see everything that's going on. And those storefronts will fill,
Right.
but it's going to take time. Nothing happens overnight.
And then, of course, when we talk about all this growth, all of these things happening, the question that comes to mind is, where are we going to get people to fill jobs? Because as these things happen,
Yeah,
There we go.
It's going to be a challenge. 2019 is going to be an exciting year, but as more and more jobs open up in the area, as the economy, as everybody knows, the economy in the United States is going good, and there's a lot of places that can't find skilled help. So that's a good problem to have. You could solve those problems. It's having the jobs to be able to fill. That's the exciting part.
right. So we have a lot going on in our city. Do we have any goals, any resolutions, or anything we want to talk about for 2019? What do we have?
I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a safe holiday season.
Yes, more than that, certainly a safe
Absolutely.
holiday season. Right,
I concur.
right.
And of course, we have goals. We have, we want to improve our own little niches, and make them work better together. Expand the concept of teamwork internally, so that and also expand that concept of teamwork externally. I love to interface with the people of the city of Dunkirk. I love the fact that Dunkirk is a diverse and minority-heavy city. It makes it exciting to go out there and talk to people, and I think the enthusiasm that the public has for this city. We have a new resident that's also the city attorney, and we have other people like that are seeing the city be vibrant, and they're coming here, and they're coming here for events. And a lot of these people are just coming for the event, and then they're looking around and saying, there's more here than just this event.
That's right.
I'm going to put an anchor down here. And some literally got their boat anchored, but they anchor here with their family too. So my goal is to just have more people anchored and working together internally as a team, Vicki, and also externally as a team, and follow the mayor's excellent leadership in that regard.
Well, and there's one other person we need to mention who isn't here with us today, is our special events coordinator, Hector Rosas. And for those people who come every summer to the Music on the Pier, the boat races, or the air shows, or whatever festival is going on, that's Hector. So we really need to say thank you to Hector, even though Hector isn't here with us today. So with all of that, is there anything else? Anything else we need to share?
I wanted to interject this story also. Yesterday in the clerk's office, young lady, younger than me, walked in and she said, "Oh my word, how beautiful." And we said, "Yes, the city hall is absolutely gorgeous. There's people that take the time to decorate it." She says, "No, the city." And I said, "I'm sorry." She said, I was born here." She came in for a birth certificate. She was taken as a child to the city of Buffalo. And this is the first time she's been able to return. And she was just overjoyed. She says, "Oh my God, you're so friendly, and all the streets are so clean. And I've just seen the buildings that are going up. This is really a beautiful city." And I have to agree with her.
It is. We're definitely getting there.
And I'd just like to add that I think Randy touched on something that's important, in that it's not only teamwork within the team within City Hall, it's teamwork with other levels of government that have been able to make a lot of this possible. It's public-private partnerships with local businesses, with developers who are looking to invest in businesses here and in properties here. So, I mean, we encourage that, we look for that, and we're thankful for the partnerships that have brought us to where we are today.
Right. And Mayor, you can certainly speak to some of the partnerships that the city has, some of our closest allies.
Absolutely. We are, when I came into office, it felt to me that the city was not doing enough outreach to work with other municipalities, with the county, and even with the state. So that's one of the things we focused on, is reaching out, doing some networking, and we are partnering up with other municipalities in a lot of different ways now. The county has been good to work with since I've been in office. We've been having a good relationship with the county, and we want to continue that. And the state, obviously, the governor has been very nice to the city of Dunkirk, and I'm very proud to be part of his team.
Right. His administration has certainly been very helpful in a lot of different ways. So with all of that, this City Speaks show will be airing through January 3rd. Our next City Speaks will have our Fiscal Affairs Officer, Marcia Beach, and we're going to have Hector here with us. So we'll have those two. So look forward to an exciting 2019, and thank you again to our Dunkirk Access crew. Mayor, the rest of my team, thank you.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
New Year.
Thank you.